fake, on the run.
You take a risk as Jalen Hurts is trying to create.
Going deep downfield, and
He's trying to scramble, try to make something happen.
into traffic, and that is picked. Here we go again. Here's the chance. The tush push. Here's Wright going for the football. Right down. You got a fumble here. Meanwhile, Bears take a fumble. What about getting pushed? Bears seem convinced.
Bears, he did it, he got it out. It's still free. Now it's a battle.
Oh, they have it. They do have it.
Hello and welcome everybody to another week with Bearski Film. Tonight we have Brian from Sportscast Podcast. Brian is a Packers fan, just to let everybody know up front. He is one of my favorite podcasters out there, though. I've been on his channel a couple times, and him and his crew, they cover the entire NFL. So when you go to Sportscast YouTube website and you watch those guys, they'll go through every single team and give their, as non-biased as possible takes, which I always appreciate. Brian, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, Paul. Thanks for having me on, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you at exactly and whatnot?
Yeah, you can find us at the Sportscast at YouTube. Like you said, we cover a lot of football. We could try and cover most sports, but right now it's all about football, baby. So the best sport, in my opinion, and we just try and be non-biased and give you our full opinion, and that's what we try and do. Keep it real in the Sportscast.
And that's what we try and do too, man. And we were keeping it real at the beginning of the season when you guys went out and got Micah Parsons. And so the question became like, well, why didn't the Bears pursue him and this and that? And that's a conversation we've kind of like just touched on throughout like the last 2 years, knowing that it's coming down the road that, that's going to be a player that's going to gain a lot of interest. And we just said, well, the Bears still need to figure some things out, which we're doing. But you guys need to beat the Vikings and the Lions because you guys are ready to win now. But now as the season's gone on, to me, I know the Bears are on the up, but when I look at the Packers, I don't know. It just seems like they're not as good as I thought they would be. And I don't know how you feel, Brian. So I wanted to get your take because, dude, that win last week against Detroit was impressive. Did you guys sweep Detroit now? Did you beat them twice?
We did. We totally swept Detroit. We played in week one. And, week one, everyone's kind of getting rid of the rust. And the Bears lost both their coordinators. You got their head coach. They lost their defensive coordinator. So the week one was like, okay, we've been 27-13, a little rusty. This last game was a prove-it game for me. Thanksgiving. The Lions are a little beat up, but hey, we were up by 10 most of that game, and it was a good win for us. So yeah, we swept them. We have a better record so far. We're actually undefeated right now in the division. So, as far it's hard because I think we could be better, right? We tie to the Cowboys. We lose to the Browns. We lose to the Panthers. I'm like, those are games we should have won. So we should be better. I've been down a lot on Matt LaFleur this season. I've really been a big fan of his lately, the last couple of years. But lately, I feel like he's holding the quarterback back, playing too conservative. But we're 8-3-1 and right there in the division. So it's hard for me to be too negative. You don't want to be too negative when your team's winning. Like, the Bears are 9-3. But I'm sure y'all have had some negative things to say about them. But so I'm remaining optimistic when it comes to Green Bay so far this season. But Ed Policy came in and he made some big moves. He went out and got Micah Parsons. We drafted a wide receiver, which we haven't done in forever with our first round pick. So he's made moves, and right now they're panning out. Micah Parsons has had 12.5 sacks so far this season, and I think I laughed so hard when the Cowboys traded him to us, and love it. Love the moves we made. I wanted to ask you guys about LaFleur. Is it realistic of me to say that he might be on the hot seat if we don't win one playoff game this season? Like, you look at his record, he's really good record-wise. Ed Policy made these moves to get further along, and then we go out and we if we lose, I think we make the playoffs. If we lose round one, is he on the hot seat? I mean, I think it's almost kind of crazy, but at the same time, I don't.
I mean, David, I know my answer. I don't know if you want to answer first.
I think that it might be only in a situation of expectation levels and things like that, because to you, Paulie, you're shaking your head no, because if Matt LaFleur was able to do what he did in Green Bay in Chicago, we might be building a statue over the last 5 years, but that's just not their standard. And it is funny with Packers fans, which is good for you guys. It's almost Philadelphia Eagles fans-esque, where they're having like an 8-3 season and they're like fire everybody, right? Or an 8-4 season and they're fire everybody, which is respectable, because Paulie and I do constantly say that now we have a different expectation as Bears fans. Like, our standard is always Super Bowl or bust. So when things aren't working out, or you're like 8-8, it's a very different type of standard. My only question would be like, what is your instant immediate upgrade with Matt LaFleur? Like, are you shuffling Zach Taylor around out of Cincinnati? Are you taking Jim Harbaugh out of Baltimore? Like, those would be lateral moves, in my opinion. And at that point, I think Matt LaFleur is probably a top 10 coach. I was saying top 5 at the end of last season. So that's my answer. I say no, just because of where are you upgrading? And I'm not even exaggerating. If this was last year's coaching cycle and you had the same question, I would have said maybe with the same situation, because Mike Vrabel or like Ben Johnson would have been an upgrade, not in hindsight, not retrospect, because they're obviously really, really good. And they're like the top 2 head coach of the year candidates right now, probably.
David, what if Mike Tomlin's out there? What if Mike Tomlin?
I think that's a lateral move. What do you want to go 500 like Pittsburgh for the next 10 years? So I think because their standard is, Brian's saying, like, how do you elevate a 10-win team into a 13-win team that goes to Super Bowls? Yeah. And that's just not something that's like readily available for most seasons and most teams. And so that's why I say, like, John Harbaugh, maybe, Zach Taylor, maybe, because what are you saying your weakness is? It's like lack of creativity on offense. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's one of the most creative offenses out there. And I think I disagree from the outside looking in with Brian. I don't think it's the coach holding back the quarterback. I think it's the quarterback kind of holding back the coach. But, that's just kind of outside looking in. But my answer is just no, based on situation, and also just based on what are your upgrades. I don't necessarily disagree with your logic of not being okay with like 10-win seasons over and over.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of had the same mindset too. So it's like, okay, well, who is available? That's why I went to Mike Tomlin. The only other name I could think of would be like Kevin Stefanski. I mean, I guess you might entertain a guy like that, but it goes back to what David said. I don't see the upgrade at coaching being that much of a buffer there. You know what I mean? Like, Matt LaFleur is a good enough coach, period.
And that's what I wanted to get.
Yeah, there's other spots on their team that would be more worth looking into.
And I felt crazy this year, just like, man, Matt LaFleur playing too conservative, cost us games, just time management stuff. But I'm like, all right, well, let me take myself out of it, out of the emotion of the moment, and say, okay, he's really done a really good job. He wins a lot of games every year, but it's expectation. We expect, and especially Ed Policy, the new guy in town. Hey, I made these moves. I want to see some results. And so, yeah, but I don't know the immediate upgrade. I don't think there is one. So, it would be tough. Maybe Ben Johnson at the end of the day with his offensive system he's run there in Chicago. But that's the question I wanted to ask on an outside point of view. So appreciate you guys answering that.
No, Micah Parsons was the splash move there. And I mean, you guys made it with the attempt, with the right mindset, in my opinion.
Question for you then, Brian. Also, did Packers lose to Philly this year, or am I crazy?
Yeah, we did. We lost 10-7.
Okay. So 2-part question, just like almost passively joking. Like, would you actually want Ben Johnson if it was just like an actual possibility right now? Do you look at our coach and think like better than your coach?
I wouldn't say after 1 year, right?
I agree. That's why I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm joking. Like, I don't know if I'd go that far, but not.
No,
I would have said Mike Vrabel. We always wanted Mike Vrabel. Would have been
Vrabel's a great one. Patriots got him a great one. You can see it's working out really well. I mean, the Patriots really haven't played nobody, but they're winning the games, right? So you can only play who's in front of you. Yeah, I wouldn't say Ben Johnson would be an upgrade over Matt LaFleur year one, maybe in the next couple of years and see. And I think, honestly, if we're, talk about the Chicago Bears, he is the reason you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 100%. And you look at, if you go look at a lot of your games, and the reason I was talking crap about the Chicago is because a lot of those games you played some bad teams, but the fourth quarter where you would be down by 10 and you come back and win. There's a lot of those games for you guys this year. And those are games usually the Bears wouldn't win. They would, I would like to say, call a Cowboy or a Charger, then they would find a way to mess it up and lose it. And you just never given up, right? Yeah, the winning mentality of Ben Johnson there, I think, is really the reason you're winning. Caleb Williams looked better this year, in my opinion. He still makes some bonehead decisions, still a little inaccurate at times, but he looks better than last season, learning the new offense, and they got the Bears number one right now in the NFC. So this rivalry between us is now going to be really exciting this season. So
God, such a little dig there. I hear it. I hear it.
No, the funny thing is like it's not so much a dig, but it's like the
it's
dig
true.
back.
I can't argue.
If we're doing polite digs back, it's like the argument for Bears fans, which we agree. Trust me, like we haven't really beaten necessarily anybody except for all the teams you guys lost to.
Yeah,
so, it's
yeah. Hey,
so
Philadelphia was a good win, man. That was a good win.
Yeah. No, I think and it's also like different timing. I think Dallas is a totally different team right now than the Dallas that we played in like week 4, right?
Completely different, yeah.
And then I think the Philly that you guys played was probably a little bit more together than the Philly we played right now because they seem like they're falling apart. So I'm not, totally dismissing all that, but
they're imploding. Philadelphia Eagles are imploding.
It kind of does feel that way. So I feel like you guys were kind of on the same track for the last 3 weeks before Detroit. And do you feel that a little bit and then that it kind of picks back up for you guys? Because I kind of want to know what we're heading into. Are we heading into a buzzsaw that's kind of picking up steam back again, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I think we are, honestly. We've losing to Cleveland and we tie with Dallas, which I told the Dallas Cowboy fans that was their Super Bowl, trying to beat us, and you tied us. So, but we lost to Carolina, lost to Philly. Jameis Winston played one hell of a game against us, almost beat us in with New York. I wasn't too happy with that one. The Vikings, man, they're completely bad this year. And then that went on Detroit. So we're looking on the upper up right now. I think LaFleur's finding his rhythm. I think Reed's coming back this game for us, which is huge. Hopefully Matthew Golden's healthy as well. The biggest loss right now for us is Wyatt snapped his ankle. The Thanksgiving game, he'll be out the rest of the season. So, but yeah, I honestly think we gained some steam in this last one against Detroit, and the way we handle business in Detroit. I think we're on the up and up, and it's Toyota-thon, and Jordan Love plays one hell of a season when Toyota-thon's going on.
Yeah, I know you bring up the Vikings,
which is totally weird, but
yeah, that's a weird thing to correlate to. But shit, I guess maybe he really likes Toyotas. That's what gets him going in the morning. You know what I mean? Just that RAV4, that 4-cylinder fucking. I don't know. Okay.
Oh man, it's funny.
It's snowy up there in Green Bay, man. You need the fucking all-wheel drive. It's what it is. Now, you talk about the Vikings. I truly find it so interesting, and I love this example. And I'm keeping it in my back pocket. And I'm going to pull it out. I've kind of hinted at it a little bit, but like one day I'm just gonna scream about it because I am so about like the players getting it done. And here's a perfect example. Kevin O'Connell. What a good fucking coach. What a real coach. He could coach any quarterback. He got Kirk Cousins, not good enough. I agree. Kirk Cousins not good enough. You go out and get Sam Bradford, and I was like, this you may want to just ride out. But no, we want to upgrade at quarterback. Oh, Kevin O'Connell can teach any quarterback. I've seen him teach any quarterback, this and that. So one, is that like now it's, it's only J.J. McCarthy's 5th, 6th, 7th game or whatever. So it's like, is he that bad to where even Kevin O'Connell hasn't gotten through to him? Or is what I'm saying at the end of the day just right? Like the great coach, it's nice. It's an addition to the great players on the field because that's where it starts. Like you got to be able to execute, get it done on the field with the talent. And then the coaching can accompany that. It can help you grow as a player, especially as a young player. But like you get into this middle part, like kind of where we're at now, where like David was talking about lateral moves. Like right now it's up to the players. When you get into the playoffs, I think the coaches start making a little bit more of an impact again. But when you're in this mix of things, there's a lot of coaches that can be average. Right. So I don't know, man. I look at the Viking situation and shake my head because like
I find it hilarious. They 100% effed it up. And I think you guys agree. McConnell's a good coach. You let it go of a guy that won you 14 games last year for McCarthy. And I was never big on McCarthy coming out. When they drafted him, I was excited because I didn't think he was going to be very good. He handed the ball off a lot in Michigan. So getting rid of Darnold, I think this was an organizational move, not a head coaching decision. This was, hey, we drafted this guy and you're going to use him. So we're going to get rid of Sam Darnold. And now they're regretting it 100%. You got a guy who arguably they have one of the best, if not the best wide receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson. And I say that because usually he eats with whoever he plays with. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He gets his numbers. McCarthy can't even get him the football. He is not eating with McCarthy. And I don't know why they let go of Darnold so fast when he won you 14 games. You could have had McCarthy sit behind him. The process works in Green Bay. We set these guys, and now we got franchise quarterbacks. No one wants to do that no more. They draft a quarterback, and they throw him right into it. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's not, doesn't. But Minnesota, you did this to yourself, and I can only do nothing but find it just funny. It's just funny. They're going to be screwed for a while, and they're talking about – rumors are they're talking about going out and getting who's the backup for the 49ers?
Mac Jones.
Yeah. They're going there. The rumor is in the offseason they're going to push to go get Mac Jones, and that tells me that your quarterback's not ready.
Kyler Murray just feels like the next Minnesota Vikings quarterback. It's just the most feels right pairing of all time, but that's just a funny one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of agree with both of you guys, I think, but at the end of the day, this coaching thing, it just kind of ends up being so important. And, Brian saying like Caleb looking better this year. Like, I guess so, right? It's almost laterally better in different ways. He's not as exciting to watch, but he's also limiting much more mistakes. Whereas like with Jordan Love, it's just kind of, so my question for you with Jordan Love is, do you feel like he's always consistently Jordan Love and it's Matt LaFleur's ups and downs making him look bad or good game to game? Because there's games where I watch Jordan Love and it's not that I don't feel bad for you guys. There's no pity in that kind of like, and it's not but like sometimes he looks so mediocre and it just like feels like everything has to go right for him. It just kind of looks like he's just, so I wonder sometimes, I feel like from outside looking in, Jordan Love is like a B-, B+ quarterback that has been maximized to B+ all the time. And that's nice. But it's with Caleb, I think he's like an A- quarterback talent-wise that constantly plays at like C+, B-, if that makes sense. And so how do you feel about like Jordan Love? It seems like you're more of a Jordan Love fan than a Matt LaFleur fan, because if in my head, if you put a gun to my head and said, if the Packers have a crossroads moment this year where you're saying, does Matt LaFleur need to go or Jordan Love? I would trust Matt LaFleur to like pick a new quarterback and see where that goes rather than fire Matt LaFleur and give Jordan Love another like innovative. I feel like he's maximized everything Jordan Love does well. So I kind of wonder from your perspective why that's like the thought process.
That's tough. If you had to sit here and say Jordan Love or the head coach. Never thought about it in that sense, but I would have to probably say I would probably have to go with Jordan Love. I think the biggest thing is, and I think one of the biggest things that hurt us is who's our number one wide receiver. We've gone in with this thing about a wide receiver by committee. Go Pack, go! Yeah, baby. This wide receiver by committee. Every year, we really haven't had that guy, that number one wide receiver to throw to. I think this year is kind of the first year we have, and that's our tight end, and he's out for the rest of the year. I think it's more of LaFleur getting conservative and LaFleur being predictable than it is Jordan Love. Jordan Love can sling it all over the field. He can make every throw. There are some times where they were making fun of it, saying when Jordan Love throws an interception, it's the ugliest interception you've ever seen. And and you're like, what the heck was that? But he actually doesn't turn the ball over very well or very much. I think he's having the most accurate season of his career so far. And I think LaFleur, I think it's more LaFleur than it is Jordan Love. And I know you guys don't really think Jordan Love's all that great, but I think he's good enough to win. So he's not Aaron Rodgers, he's not Brett Favre, but I think he's good enough to win, and he's not afraid to throw the ball all over the field. I think Matt LaFleur needs a really good running game to have his offense flowing really well, and Jacobs has not been as great as he was last season. Last season, we looked a lot better offensively, in my opinion. This season, he's not the running back hasn't been all that great. And
dude, I mean, you guys were winning games with what's his name? Fucking backup from Tennessee that you guys acquired. I forget his name. He's that forgettable.
Backup running back?
Backup quarterback.
Oh, backup quarterback. Yeah, Willis.
Yeah. Malik Willis. You guys were winning games with him. That's how
3 games last year.
Yeah, that's insane.
And LaFleur did great when it was that, because we relied so much on the running game. With that, we didn't let Willis come out and throw it all over the field. And you have some dumb Packer fans that'll go, Willis is better than Love, put him in. I'm like, if you watch our offense, it's 2 completely different offenses. Willis, we run the ball all the time, and Love, usually we throw the ball a lot more and air it out. So I just, my concern with LaFleur is he becoming too predictable. So, but without the running game, I think he it's a big issue for him. That's kind of his identity.
Do you expect to win this game?
I do, and I expect to win it because we're playing in Green Bay.
Do you think?
I think we split.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
I don't know how you guys feel about it. When you play a divisional game, it's a lot harder to win. Doesn't matter how good the teams are, right? We play the Bears when we were dominant and y'all weren't very dominant and y'all beat us. And I'm like, what the heck? It's a divisional game. We hate each other's guts. We play each other so much. We know each other. So I do think we split it. I think we win this one. And I think y'all win the one in December. Was that December 20th, which is a Saturday night game. We got Flex as a Saturday night game. So they know how important these games are going to be. This could be the NFC. We're talking about if the Bears lose Sunday, y'all go from the 1st seed to the 7th seed, which is crazy how the NFC is right now.
So, I mean, I have some thoughts on like our own team, and then, you being more of a national guy, and I'm sure paying relatively close attention to the Bears. My go-to predictions on games the last 3 to 4 weeks is just say 24-21 and then flip a coin and see whoever the fuck comes out of it.
Right.
And that's kind of how like where we've been on the Bears, or at least me personally. I mean, for Paulie, I don't, he's been a little bit more optimistic, I would say, but we're both kind of in that like 55, 60, 40 range where we're waiting for the other shoe to drop a little bit, I think. And then eventually it just never dropped. And now you just kind of have to legitimately believe that they're a decent enough to above average team. The one area that me and Paulie have been harping on, and this is the thing about the Bears and then the Bears fans that we even argue with in our own chat is, you go into the season and you're built to sling the ball, right? You're built with receivers and offensive line that's good at pass blocking because you got Drew Dahlman, who is undersized, and Joe Tooney, who's a pass blocker. And you get these guys, and then, Roman Dunze, all this stuff, you get it. But then you have mediocre to below average of running backs. People predicted even on our own show is like bottom 5 running game, bottom 10 defense. And now you've got a top 5 defense and a top 5 running game. And there's one part of this team that's really just not pulling its weight, and it's quarterback and passing. And so the way I look at the Bears, and this is why I don't know how to feel about this game. Even in my head, I'm talking to you and I'm thinking of where my score prediction is going to be by the end of our conversation. And it started somewhere around like 27-21 Packers. And it's going to like go up and down and wax and wane, but the same thing. But I think and tell me how you feel about this. Like there's one area that is kind of in the NFL, an upgradable position mid-season. And that's just like a young quarterback clicking. And that's like something that you don't necessarily need to, go get him a wide receiver. You don't need it. It's just like when a quarterback kind of finally hits the groove and figures it out. And I think that's the X factor of the Bears team, that because some of the stuff is just not going to be sustainable. But people asking me, around my circles of like work or colleagues or something like that, like this is a dangerous playoff team. Like this is a team as the Bears that you just don't want to be matched up with in round 1 or in like a wild card position. I don't predict that they hold on to this first seed and get a bye, but whoever's playing them in like the wild card round, if you're like an offensive slinging it team and you're in January and this is a team that's how do you win playoff games? You run the shit out of the ball. You have opportunistic defense. And then you have a quarterback who gets the job done just enough. That's been the story of playoff team after playoff team after playoff team that goes far in the playoffs. And that's why, regardless of how the Packers-Bears kind of match up, I think long-term, just this season, the way this season's going, I like the Bears a little bit more end of the season than the Pack. Because at the end of the day, the Pack go as far as Jordan Love takes them, whereas Caleb's like, anything you get out of Caleb right now is a fucking bonus. It just is. Any good game you get out of Caleb, it's a nice bonus. So, feel free to correct or comment on anything I was saying, but that's just kind of how our general overall, I think, outlook from my perspective is on the Bears. And at this point, I just can't ignore that they're probably just an above average team. They're probably like a good B- team. But with some things that, it's almost like that Detroit season where the last 8 games, they were on a tear. That's kind of, even if they don't go far in the playoffs, I'd like them to just keep it going and Loveland to have a good end of the season, Caleb to have a good end of the season and that kind of stuff. So
Loveland's better as of late.
Yeah, there's a little something missing in just about all of our wins. And what it is you come across an opportunity in a situation in the game to twist the knife, to put the game away. And we're never able to quite do that. We always, we'll win it in the last seconds. We'll win it in the clutch moments, but but we allow the other teams the opportunity to get to that moment. You know what I mean? Like even in this Eagles game, there was a point where you just kick another 3 points and like you're good. And no, you had to have the Eagles go out and your defense come out and be opportunistic and for you to succeed. And it wasn't until that very last touchdown to Cole Kmet that kind of sealed it up. That was a better job than most of the other games. A lot of other games, there's just, like I said, there's stalls. And like in this one, it was in the third quarter. If the Eagles had any chance to come back and make this thing a game, it was in the third quarter because our offense stalled out for 2-3 drives in a row. And like I see that quite frequently.
I think that on going on what Dave said, we playoff teams right. You have a good defense, you run the ball. Teams run the ball more when you get to the playoffs. Bears look to be that team right now. They're optimistic defense there. They've turned the ball over. They're top 5 in turnovers in the league.
They are number one.
Number one, yeah. See, so that's huge. The Packers have not done that. I think we're in the bottom 25 in turnovers this season. So we have not turned the ball over. We have not, created the turnovers like we used to. I think Caleb's maybe I haven't watched enough Bears games, but I think Caleb's better than he was last year. I in a sense of, like you said, Dave, he's not turning the ball over. He's not making too many bonehead decisions. He still makes a couple, but that's his that's his gunslinger mentality.
Yeah, Brian, in my opinion, it's really the sacks. I mean, we're coming off a
Yeah.
season where he got sacked 68 times. And so what that does is each one of those can kill a drive, right? So those are highly negative plays where now you limit those sacks. And although Caleb is maybe not as flashy and as good, and maybe he does have some overthrows and some things, overall, those negative plays are gone, right? Like you've cleaned that up enough to where now the mistakes you're making are a lot more minuscule compared to the mistakes you were making last year. In my opinion.
To kind of put a bow on that, I think I've seen more 10 to like 13, 15 play drives this season than I think I have in my 5 years previous this as a Bears fan combined. There's like 2 to 3 10+ play drives per game nowadays with Ben Johnson. And I think part of that is like what Paulie's talking about is you're never like, I don't remember the last time the Bears were in like 3rd and 13, which was just basically once a drive last year, if that makes sense. So it's always 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4. And that's something that is culturally changeable and sustainable. And that's where I think it's one of those little changes to football that makes a huge difference, because I don't think, your casual fan doesn't understand that, like, well, it's 3rd and 7. Why don't you just run that favorite play I do in Madden and you should just pick it up every time, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, dude, that's just not how it works. 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. Bears are calling a little like tight end out on 4th and 2. And I'm like, no, I'm not stressed about it. I'm pretty confident it's going to work. I know he's got 2 play drives in his back pocket that are just absolutely crushingly elite. And like you said, Caleb's been getting better. I think there's still something to be desired. And I don't know if we had this argument with Justin Fields, and one day I just sat down and I'm like, what if this is just what Justin Fields is? What if this is just what this guy is? And I've kind of had that moment this year with Caleb 15 games in where everybody just keeps telling me to be patient and his percentages will go up. I don't know if this guy's ever going to be a 65-70% passer, but I guess 58% is good enough if it's only in game-winning drives.
David, I had a question for you regarding that number. Because the sack numbers are down, you are throwing the ball away more often. Could that be part of the dip? I mean, I know it's not drastic enough to clean up 58%, but that could account for a little bit of that, could it not?
I mean, how many times are you throwing the ball away intelligently? 4 a game? 3?
Yeah, I mean, that's
intelligently throwing away 3 to 4. I mean, that's still not.
That's a good number.
I mean, Paulie, like 21 out of 35 is still, 59% versus 18 out of 35, which is what I'm used to, is 49 or 51%. It's just not. It's very negligible. Can they add up? Sure, but they shouldn't add up over a course of a season. If you're talking 17 games and you're throwing away 13, it's 50 throws a year out of 500. It's less than 10% at most. It's just not, no. I don't think so, personally. I think it would change your completion percentage by about 5% to 6%.
If you're doing everything
I see what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah, if you're doing everything perfectly. I mean, the ones I'm talking about are the ones where just doesn't get it out on time. If anything, I think he should have more like thrown at the ground ball. This week, actually, against the Eagles, there was a screen that got blown up, and I think it was the first time I've seen Caleb do the Tom Brady pitch it at the guy's feet and live to see another down, maybe this season. He's probably done it a handful of times this year, but it was the first one that I kind of went like, nice, that was good. It was like 2nd and 2, and he just hit his feet just to make sure he got 3rd and 2 instead of scrambling around like a chicken with his head cut off and then whipping a ball 40 yards downfield and, hitting it off of a guy's shin or something, So I agree, but maybe it's just like a conversation for a different time. I don't think that's the X factor. Like I said, this game, Packers Bears, it's like if all things are equal, I think the Bears have a window to win if Caleb Williams has 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks with like a 60% completion. I think that is the recipe to beat the Packers. But if Caleb comes out and throws 155, a touchdown and a pick like I'm used to, that's a way that you do lose to the Packers like 27-21. It's that one little missing piece.
Do you know the results of the Packers' first 5 drives from this last game?
Which game? Against Detroit?
Yeah.
No.
It went field goal on the first drive, and touchdown. Like there's no room for stalling against the Packers, in my opinion. Like, Brian, you said statement game. It was a statement game for us too. No, but I agree, man. Like the way you guys went out and handled business against Detroit, to me, it's threatening. It is like, dude, it's still a good team, and so in my mind, I want to say like, okay, I think we split, right?
Yeah, that's
but
a safe bet.
But I have not been this energized, and God damn it, I am. Here comes another pretty blonde walking past me, right? Like, how many times do I need to be fucking hurt by this damn team before I learn? Yeah. And it's like Ben Johnson takes his shirt off, and I'm about it. I'm like, okay, here we go. Free hot dogs for the city.
Free
like
hot dogs for the city.
No, but for real though, like this team's bought in. When you look at that clip, like the one thing I saw is literally every single guy in that locker room is bought in. Whereas like last year, I saw moments towards the end of the season where there was a lot of lack of effort.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I don't know, man.
Talking about saw or attempted to hear. We actively heard about planned mutinies, like by Jalen Johnson. We're not talking about like hypotheticals here. There was like reports around our beat reporters around here of like Jalen Johnson yelling at Matt Eberflus in front of the rest of the team, like, what the fuck are you specifically doing, kind of thing. So we're not talking about, this is one of those times where
I mean, I saw a play last year where one of your wide receivers mid-play just walked to the bench. I'm like, what in the world was that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he was ineligible for catch, but still, like the lack of effort, the body language, it was such a
terrible.
bad.
And like I said, this is Ben Johnson. This is what Ben Johnson brings. This is what when y'all picked him up, I was like, fuck. Excuse the language, but Ben Johnson's a guy that can turn our organization around. And I think I look at the Lions right now without him, and now without Aaron Glenn, they're struggling right now. They're struggling on offense, and on defense. I mean, and also they're banged up, but they're struggling. And this is what Ben Johnson brings. And this is, I want you guys to be good because I like the battle back and forth. In this division, man, we have I'd say the toughest division in the NFL. Last year, it kind of looked the same way. You could argue the NFC East because 2 NFC East teams made the championship game, but this division, it's going to come down. I think it's a 2-team race. I think the Lions have kind of fallen off, and we know who the 2 best teams in the division are between us 2. So it's going to be a fun battle. I hate that we play both games so close together at the end of the season. I really hate that they did that. But yeah, I mean, y'all, what you got Green Bay, you got Cleveland, which that's an easy win,
and then
Green Bay, and then the Niners, which who knows what they are now, and then you finish with the Lions. We got you guys twice, sprinkle in Denver, who's on a 9-10 game winning streak. We play Baltimore, who they've been up and down all year, and then we finish the season with Minnesota, which should be an easy win. So I think our schedule is tougher at the back end than your final games, but to me, it comes down between these 2 games for the division, the Bears games, for us and for you guys too. I think these are 2 games that I wouldn't say must wins, but if you want to win the division and get yourself a better playoff spot, then these are the games you need to win. And I don't I don't necessarily want the number 1 seed though, because every time Green Bay gets the number 1 seed, we end up having the bye and we end up losing. So, do I really want the number 1 seed? It's nice to say, but when you come to the playoffs in our history, we don't do too well with the number 1 seed, honestly.
So I guess that would be a good point to kind of hypothetical after this. Who needs the win more?
Oh, Green Bay.
Who needs
Yeah,
this win more,
yeah.
Brian?
I think.
Who would you say like needs this one more in your opinion? Here's
I
where my
would
perspective
probably
comes in.
I'd probably say Chicago.
See, it's funny because in my head, like me and Paulie are not delusional. You call it a rivalry, and it's almost like a big brother thing right now. You're like, I'd like you guys to get better, so you guys can compete with us up here. That'd be fun.
It's such a
That'd be fun.
condescending tone.
It's such a condescending thing, but like it's okay. We know
fine.
it.
It's fine.
And it's like that's the thing. It's like it's not a rivalry. You guys have dog walked us for 15
you've
years,
earned
to
that.
be honest. So it's like, and that's great. So here's the thing. The Bears thing, minus losing like 6 in a row and just going 9-8, knock on wood, like we have everything already is kind of the cherry on the sundae. Now, if even as a skeptical Bears fan, if they beat the Packers, you won't be able to get me to shut up at this point the rest of the season. I'm going to be actually talking about Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually acknowledge the words and consider them like a possibility. Right now, if we lose to the Packers, it's like, I mean, we've had our fun. We've had like our 7-game winning streak and our Eagles defeat. And it's like the Pack would be fucking awesome. It'd be like best. It's better than beating Philly, but beating Philly was pretty sweet. It was just kind of one of those things too, where all of us went into Friday afternoon and just kind of were like, let's see how this goes. I think go back and look at all the Instagram reels and everything. All the Bears fans were like, look, even if we lose a close game to Philly, I'm still confident we're going to be a good playoff team. And then you dog walk Philly, and that opens the door to like dog walk Green Bay. I'm not saying to beat the shit out of you guys, but transitive properties, all that stupid stuff in the NFL of like, you guys lost to the Eagles and we beat the shit out of the Eagles. You guys lost to the Cowboys. We absolutely beat the shit out of the Cowboys. Transitive games don't really matter in the NFL because it's such a week-to-week thing. But it is kind of telling of where I think both teams are competitive-wise, because we kind of lost or won a close game to the Giants, and everyone was like, is this team for real? And then you guys barely squeaked out against the Giants, and they're like, go Pack, go. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, can we just acknowledge that these teams are like neck and neck right now at the moment? So for us, if we lose a close game, that's my opinion. Like if we lose a 24-21 game, I'm like, that's a Packers home win when they're streaking. And, so that's why I feel like for you guys, it's just more of an important win because it needs to kind of prove that little brother's trying to get up here and we're not letting him get up here. Like we're still the Pack and they're still like these baby Bears. But if the Bears come out here and beat you on your home turf, man, that's a bad look for Green Bay. Whereas like it's all gravy already for the Bears. If we lose to you in Green Bay, it's kind of like then it becomes if we get swept by you in 2 weeks, then we're like, all right, the guns are back inside of everybody.
But the schedule is favored for us in that aspect.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it is more important for Green Bay. We need this win for playoff seeding and trying to win the division. I was thinking it more of thinking about the Chicago fan base of, all right, you're way better than what you thought you'd be, but this is the game. If we can beat Green Bay in Lambeau, this is the game that let us know we're here. You know what I'm saying? So. But I get you. You've already succeeded this season, and unless you lose all out, well, you're not going to lose. That'd be insane. But
we've seen worse. We've seen worse. But like, that's the thing, man. Is like you were talking about Dallas. Your quote from earlier of Dallas. This is your Super Bowl, and we let you tie us, kind of thing. This is not my Super Bowl, personally. Like, not even a little bit. We are like in my head, we're a playoff contender. Like. Let's get to the playoffs kind of thing at this point. Just win like 2 to 3 more games and you should be in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, you're in the playoffs. I mean, It would be. I mean, the odds of you not making the playoffs now would be absolutely astronomical.
It's actually the Bears are actually the number one team in betting statistics to miss the playoffs entirely of the current 14 playoff team seeds.
Well, I think they still have like a 23% chance to miss.
I would love to fade that bet. It's not really possible, but like it's a very statistically up there type of thing where the Bears are favored to miss out on the playoffs completely compared to all the rest of the playoff teams.
It goes back to exactly what you said. One loss and we're down to the 7th seed. Right? Like this NFC is so stacked up top right now as far as records go that I mean, you know, one loss dictates a lot right now. But I mean, I'm looking at this Browns game, I'm looking at this 49ers game going, okay. Honestly, all these games became winnable in my opinion for the Bears, right? So like you should win against the Browns, you should win against the 49ers, pick up one more. I mean, that's 3 wins, you're a 12-win team. That's so solid. You know what I mean? So it's not beyond the realm of possibility or you know, to think it's crazy that they can't do it. If they go in and beat Green Bay this week at Green Bay, that momentum that we just created in Philly is going to carry over and like double. And like,
not only that, but then this becomes a 2-game lead in the division straight up.
Yeah. And then these players on this team start getting comfortable and getting themselves ready for the playoff run for sure. Like health wise and you know what I mean? Making business decisions to be in the best possible situation they can be. So it is a big win for us still, but I think you guys to hold on, like you said, to take the division, to do this. I mean, you've been good. You were projected to be really good at the beginning of the year, but you've kind of been under the radar the whole time, right? Like you guys haven't really hit that stride. So, dude, this is awesome that we're entering this late in the season, Bears Packers, and it means a lot. Like this is great. It has not been like this for a long time. So, I wanted to continue though. Yeah, go ahead, David. Go. I just want to tell Brian I want to beat his ass, man. And I want to keep doing it. Like,
I haven't been this nervous, excited for a game in a while, but again, it's like it's not that pressure. I don't feel the pressure of it because I'm just like it'd be awesome, but it's okay to lose. But I've never been this like excited for a Bears Packers game in a while, just because they haven't really mattered in a bit. But yeah, I mean, the fact that the holiday season is just always so fucking pleasant for me. And the fact that we get to, for me, it's like my Christmas break and I get to enter Christmas break with a Saturday Bears Packers game. And then I get to go into this weekend and like watch a Sunday after. I almost wish this was on like a Saturday afternoon again this week, but you know, can't have it all. But holy shit, what a great 3 weeks of just like Thanksgiving, Christmas vibes of football. This is the best it gets. This is the best.
I told the wife on Thanksgiving we opened up with the Lions, and I was like, I don't want to have the opening game. If we lose, then I'm pissed the rest of the day, man. So, what you put at Flex Diggs comment up there. I think the key for Green Bay to win this game is stopping the run. We got to be able to stop the run, and the biggest, like I said earlier, the biggest loss was Wyatt, our defensive tackle, going out. He was a dog from Georgia, playing really well. Without him out there, I think it slows down. It slows down Micah Parsons and stuff like that. But we're gonna have to stop your running game, and we've got to get pressure to the quarterback. That's how we win, because our cornerbacks are not very good. So. But that's my opinion on that. But yeah, he's right. We got to bring our chin straps. We got to play tough, and we got to stop your run, because if you're going to run on us, then it's going to be over.
You guys want to do predictions?
Well, we can if you want.
Up to you, David. David's got something.
Take 1 second here.
Yeah, I think he's technical. There you go.
There it is. My thing kind of tweaked out on me.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you feel about
to answer that question? No, we don't miss Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark was great. I really like Kenny Clark. He was coming off his worst year last year. He's getting older. We don't miss him because Wyatt's been really good. Without Wyatt, we're kind of we might miss him this game without Wyatt, but we're not really missing him on the defense.
Can we?
Yeah, Mike.
I like to do this game a little bit. So, who would you give the thumbs up versus the thumbs down to here? So, let's go stopping the run. Who's good with Wyatt being with I'm sorry, Wyatt. You said
Yeah.
Who's better at stopping the run, Packers or Bears?
Bears. I think Bears are better at stopping the run, and Jacobs hasn't been that great this season. He really hasn't.
Okay.
I would give it a tie.
I would give it a tie as well because
Okay.
I think you're overestimating how bad we are at it actually. Because our linebacker, I don't think we've had. I don't know if you've been paying attention. Our starting 4 linebackers have been injured for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I heard that. And your cornerback room, right?
Our cornerback room's
we-
been an absolute.
We
it's been an
started
absolute
cornerback
infirmary.
4 as cornerback 1 in week 1.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
been
and
only
he's
going up since
leading
then.
the league in interceptions.
And picks, yeah.
Yeah, they made
Nation
nice
Wright.
play last.
He's gonna
week.
get paid. Poor Bear. Honestly, the conversation I've heard been broached is, can you somehow just like let go of Tyreek Stevenson or trade him so you don't have to pay him and then just pay Nation Wright like a 3-year, $60 million deal? I wouldn't hate that, but
Okay, so
but here,
stop and run.
so let's tie. Pass rush is an easy win for the Pack, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Stopping the cornerback / DBs / how that matchup goes. I think with DBs and the secondary, I think the Bears take this one. I think they're just too deep and well-rounded versus like the receivers that you guys have. I don't think that matchup scares the Bears and like where you're going to be exploited at one position because you're not deep enough, right? Where your third wide receiver is taking advantage of our really weak nickel or anything like that. I don't think that scares any of the Bears players.
Yeah, your DB room, your corner backfield defense is better than Green Bay, 100%. The only matchup I think scares you is Watson because he's tall and fast. But if you take him out right now, who else is stepping up? Watson's been kind of our number 1 guy this year. He's coming back from injury. He's the most reliable wide receiver we got right now. So we got Reed back, which a good slot wide receiver. We'll see how he goes out there and does. But wide receiver core, you got a Dunze. You've got
switching to offense.
more.
Like how do you wide receiver room? Who do you give the win to?
It's you guys.
Bears,
You guys. Yeah.
I think so.
You got the better tight. Well, our tight. If we had Kraft, it would go. The tight end room would go to us.
Yeah, I think he was the
Kraft's
best.
an
I
absolute
honestly think he's the top 3 tight end in the league, maybe number 1.
Yeah, but Loveland's turned out to be pretty good. I would give the wide receiver room to the Bears. They have the veteran wide receiver. They've got their young. He's not a rookie, right? This second season, but he's a young guy. Golden's been injured, and I haven't seen too much of him. I mean, he's made a couple plays, but hasn't been consistent with it. So, wide receiver room.
From what I understand, statistically, Caleb Williams has better wide receiver stats than Matthew Golden this season. I am trying to be a little bit of a dick. Finally,
That's terrible.
I'm going to finally get it. I'm going to give it back to you. But
Yeah,
no.
terrible.
Statistically, I think he has more touchdowns and receiving yards than Matthew Golden.
That's hilarious.
So, offensive line. How do you feel about your offensive line? Who wins that? Because I think the Bears have our top 3 offensive line this year.
Yeah, the Bears' offensive line is better. Ours have been banged up, honestly. We've lost Jenkins. He's been out. We've had to switch up so many players at center. We just signed Tom, our left tackle, and then he got injured right after we signed him. He's back, but we've had a lot of they've been good, but not as good as the Bears this season. So you got to go offensive line. You got to give it to the Bears.
Running game or running backs? I guess that's kind of a twofold question. Running backs, it's you, but running game, it's us.
Yeah, I mean we're not deep, but the 2 running backs we have, they've
been
right.
They've been looking really good this year. Josh Jacobs is a good running back, and
He is.
we actually I believe we drafted a guy. What's Marshawn Floyd out of USC a couple years ago, and he was the best running back in college football. They said it was a steal for us, and we haven't seen him because he's always hurt. I think we're bringing him in this game. He's coming back off injury finally, so maybe we get to see him going.
Can I address this comment real quick? Because
I know,
we
dude.
deal with this shit all the time as Bears. So you can't be a Packer fan. Yeah, Brian, you got to predict them fucking flawless every year. Okay,
If you're
17
not
and 0.
17 and
If you're not 17 and 0, you're not a Packer fan. I mean, come on.
It's
now.
called being
We're
realistic.
logical and have
I
a
don't
fucking
drink
brain here. Come on.
I
now.
don't drink the Kool-Aid and say Green Bay's going to win every game, and it's called being realistic.
We're not going to be your show, Sarah. So sorry. And then quarterback, right? Like quarterback goes to.
I think
Green
that's
Bay.
an easy win to Green Bay.
Yeah,
Green Bay,
for sure.
yeah.
You know what this is going to come down to, truly, is the turnovers. Like the way the Bears have won these games is by that opportunistic defense, right? If we're able to get a turnover in the first half, I think you guys are in trouble. If you guys can come out and play just clean and establish that in the first half, I think we're in trouble. And I think that's kind of what it's going to come down to at the end of the day. Because if you guys do what you did to Detroit to us, I mean, we don't have that in us to come back from that kind of a consistent beating. You know what I mean? So, I think this is going to fall a lot on the Bears defense and baiting Jordan Love into making a mistake.
Which always pisses me off because Jordan Love is the best at looking like he's in trouble and then making a 7-yard throw out of nothing.
Yeah.
And it just pisses me off every time they play. This feels a little different because the times that he used to get in trouble against the Bears, it's been at least the last 5 years, it's just been that shitty, weak-ass Tampa 2 where it's just it's dissectable with time. And this time it's almost the opposite. I feel like with this Bears defense, and if you're not watching the Bears, obviously, Brian, which you're probably not like closely, it's one of those times where the longer a play goes this year, the more I'm like, oh, we're about to fucking get something going here, baby. Like it's the opposite of what I'm so used to the last 5 years or so, where the longer a play goes and you're not getting to the quarterback, you're like, this guy's going to just dissect, find something wide open. This time around, it's like, no, oh, you thought that was a one-on-one matchup. Actually, Kyler Gordon was the 6th pass rusher coming out of here. And then Nashawn Wright's about to fucking pick it off with his 6'7" wingspan and, knock it down. Something.
I saw that.
It's kind of the opposite.
The Philly game where he scrambled around and he's looking for Brown and he throws it over there and the guy makes the diving interception. And I'm like, that's a really nice play on defense. He had all the time in the world running and scrambling around. I think too a big key is, and someone mentioned it a little earlier, Jalen Reed. He draws up some really good plays for Jalen Reed. So having Jalen Reed back in the offense, I'm hoping to see some dynamic play calls from before with him. He likes to use him. He likes to use them all over the field, motions a lot, everything like that. So maybe that'd be a key to the game coming up. But do you want to do predictions?
Yeah, let's do some predictions, and then we could call it a night. I'll go first. I probably have David. We've been pretty close in our predictions. I think this is the first week I'm going to go AWOL a little bit. I'm actually gonna say 23 to 16 Bears.
23. You're keeping them to 16 points? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
It's tough. Coming off 31 in Detroit on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the ball bounces our way. I don't feel great about that prediction, if you ask me. But that's what I'm going to go with. 23.
It's funny because I could see us splitting, but splitting on each other's turf. Bears winning Lambeau.
That'd be the most. Yeah.
Packers.
That'd be the most Bears Packers thing ever.
Yeah. I am gonna give this one to Green Bay. Part of me is like it's gonna be a nitty gritty game, but part of me thinks it's gonna be a gunslinging game. If it gets to a gunslinging game, I think Green Bay wins. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think you
100%.
guys, the more defense.
If you
more
get to
run the
30
ball.
points, we're not getting there.
I think it's more of a, I'd say 28-20, 27-20 game, Green Bay. And like I said we split the game. So, but this is the first Packers-Bear game in a long time that I'm actually excited for. And I got a Bears fan that lives in my neighborhood, and we watch every Packers-Bears game together. So it'll be fun. This one will be fun to go watch with him. So what about you, Dave?
Man, like both of you guys make such good points. And then like at the end of the day, I got to just default to what is the best individual unit in this game, and it's the Bears running attack. Nothing else in this game, maybe minus the Micah Parsons aspect. I think there might be a way the Bears can kind of negate a little bit of Micah Parsons with a good Ben Johnson game plan.
Yeah.
The one thing that just should scare the shit out of everybody is like the Bears running attack. So I came into this, like I told you, 27-21 Packers, and Paulie's almost got me a little convinced. I think it's like, this is how you win a road game though, right? Like this is how you would win an interdivision road game. It's like, keep the score low, 22-19 Bears.
Yeah. You keep score low, you run the ball, you get an opportunistic interception.
The takeaways.
Yeah, the takeaways. And I think the Bears are better at takeaways right now than what the Bears are willing to give up. You're not gonna get a stupid Caleb Williams pick anymore. I think you'll get a fumble. You'll get a DeAndre Swift fumble more likely than you'll get a Caleb Williams,
or you'll get a strip sack fumble from Micah Parsons or something like that. But an interception,
something like a miracle play. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like one of those easy Adrian Amos picks anymore, like you were used to for a while, like where you just throw into the safety basically. All right, I got to do it. 22-18 Bears. 21-18. I'm going to keep it simple. Because that's 14. 23-18 Bears. 23-18. 3 field.
Wow, you're a lot closer to me than I thought, Dave. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough, man. All right, cool. So yeah, Brian, I mean, dude, always love to have you on. Always love your insights and your opinion. So definitely should get back together again before the end of the season and talk about where these teams are at and whatnot. So, dude, thank you so much for your time and for making that time for us. I know we had to reschedule a couple times, so thanks for putting up with me. But man, appreciate it. So this is perfect, right before the matchup, man. I'm excited. I know you're excited too. Dude, both our cities are excited. It's
dude,
good,
I'm watching with a friend, a neighbor, like a former neighbor who we lived with in our building, and then they moved out, but they moved out close to us, and we're watching. And every fucking time I watch with this guy, it's just an absolute fucking Wisconsin fest. So like every time we would watch like Brewers Cubs, and the Brewers are just fucking pounding our ass, and like the years pass, it'd be Packers. I would love nothing more than to fucking go to his house and take a shit on his coffee table. And like,
Brian, I was at the Steelers game. I was at the Bears-Steelers game 2 weeks ago. A lot of Steelers fans showed up, man. They were even selling those damn yellow towels on the way to Soldier Field. And so, like, they showed up in numbers. And, like, a Packers fan walked past us in his gear. And my buddy, it's the season ticket holder. He's like, "You lost, buddy. You're fucking Lambeau Field's up that way, and this and that." And he just started getting heckled from every direction, even by the Steelers fans. Like, dude, everybody was just screaming at this guy, like, "Green Bay fucking sucks." Blah blah blah.
You both agree.
So everybody hates you guys. It's not just us.
Yeah.
Right?
It's because we beat them in the Super Bowl,
There you go. There you go, buddy.
I was so 3 field goals. That 7 turns into 20. 14, 17, 20, 23. Yeah, 23-19.
I was hoping so bad that Aaron Rodgers got to play the Bears, man. But it didn't happen.
Yeah, and like
that shit annoys me, man. That's so stupid to me. Like you think it's personal? Like, are you personally hurt by Aaron Rodgers? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, Just
At
win.
this point,
Who cares?
we're not
I don't
about to
wanna-
tarnish his career here. Like,
I was
What's
so
it-
hoping
what's it-
he'd play. I
no.
wanted to see him play the Bears one more time, man, but it didn't pan
yeah,
out
no,
that way. And then y'all
I'd
win.
rather just play the worst quarterback in that situation. So,
Mhm.
yeah, no, fuck, man. I would have hated for him to just get one more chance to stab us and him actually do
Right.
it like that. Oh,
Right.
fuck.
Like, what are you talking about?
Uh,
And then you're like, I can't wait to sack Aaron Rodgers. What if he throws for 3 touchdowns on your ass, you dummy?
Yeah.
right.
He's decent
All right, guys.
out there,
So
but-
cool, man.
All right,
Well,
boys.
let's look forward
Good game
to this,
regardless, hopefully. Can we agree
Yeah.
either way? Like a 28 to like 6 game is not fun. Like I would obviously I'd be happy by a 28-6 Bears win, but like I almost wouldn't want to see that this time. I'm sick of these 27-24 games, but I kind of want one this time.
Yeah.
No,
Like the
like,
Eagles,
I'm
the
more
Eagles
petty than
Packers
that.
game.
I'm petty.
You're more petty. You're like, I want
Yeah,
35
I-
nothing.
No,
Blowout.
not like I would love to just watch you guys squirm for once. It would be nice. I would enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm
tell
that
you
would
what,
be nice. Yeah,
When we
just
played
one
the
time.
Eagles, I went to my brother's house to watch it because I have YouTube TV, and they were fighting with Disney, and I didn't have Monday Night Football. So I go to my brother's house and I watch all the way to the fourth quarter. I'm like, if we don't do anything on this drive, I'm going home and going to bed. This game's pathetic. And they didn't. I said, see you later. And on the way home, the Eagles scored a touchdown. I'm like, yeah, we lost this game. A pathetic football game, man.
Daniel Jeffries, give us your prediction real quick. We're about to close the show out, so I want to know. You just got back from work. Just one of the guys that tunes in and listens to us ramble every week, so I want to definitely include him. But yeah, man, I don't know. I can see it going either way, though. Like, would I be shocked going away with a loss? No, not at all. You guys are still a legit team, but that's what makes this such a good game. And
Sorry.
yeah, so dude,
Notifications.
I don't know, man. I just want this Bears success to be long lasting. Like, that's for me. I don't want another repeat season of like the success we had in like 2018 and then it just disappears. You know what I mean?
Win 4 games
Mhm.
next year. It's like,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that would really be a downer. So, but this season definitely is. I mean, at this point, anything can
I
happen
think-
for us.
I mean, we've said this. They're doing more with less, so much more than we expected. And I think there's really only one way to go up, because this is a side conversation. We almost think that Dennis Allen is doing a better job per metric than what Ben Johnson is doing. Like, I think Ben Johnson is doing less with more than what we see Dennis Allen. And from what I've seen, what we've seen in the Dennis Allen sphere around here, this guy's not going anywhere. This might be one of those like Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo lifetime pairings type of thing. Because Dennis Allen is fucking crushing it right now. He is absolutely a madman behind that play sheet. So if he stays here long term, you give this guy like a real pass rusher, you get him like a first round defensive end, man, that's how you get long term success.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts, or are we good?
I'm good.
go Pack, go, baby.
Bear down.
Ready, throw. Good protection. Lines it up for DJ Moore to the end zone. Touchdown! Take the shotgun snap. Late pressure fired. Ball reason. Ball is out. It's on the ground. Score!